Hey, you Stygian Dogs. It's August 28th, and this marks the release of issue number 4 of The Savage Sword of Conan from Titan Comics and Heroic Signatures. And holy crap, it's a big one. 80 mighty pages dedicated to Jim Zub's ambitious Battle of the Blackstone event. Let's start with taking a look at the covers. Cover A is a wonderful painted canvas from David Palumbo, and I really love cover B. This is from Maria Wolf. And the quirky cover C, the cast of characters presented as the usual suspects, and this is from Ben Caldwell. This video will be a peek and a tease. There may be visual spoilers as I flip through, but I will not be providing detailed plot summaries. I'd like to give you a chance to read this book for yourself. Jumping right into it, following an advertisement for the Heroic Legends series of short stories from Titan Books, we open with the Numidian Chronicles, accompanied by Roberto De La Torre's Conan as he appeared on the Free Comic Book Day 2024 cover. After the credits for the teams at Titan Comics and Heroic Signatures, we get our first glimpse of the table of contents of this hefty volume. Conan from Jim Zub and Fernando Dagnino. Patch Zircher's Solomon Kane, Zub and Dean Kotz with a Brissa story, the much-anticipated comic writing debut from Jeff Shanks with a Conrad and Kirowan story illustrated by Eryk Donovan. Fred Kennedy offers us a dark Agnes story illustrated by Andy Belanger. And last but certainly not least, Ron Marz's El Borak with art by Mike Perkins. And man, Perkins' El Borak, well, as Fred Kennedy declared at Fan Expo, I want to work with that guy. All of this plus 8 pinups and Zub's introductory essay. Zub's essay follows Francesca Baerald's map of the Hyborian Age, and it's titled A Stone's Throw Away. Jim tells of the Black Stone being one of those cryptic ingredients Howard used several times, and how it was something he was guided toward with an eye for creating connectivity and excitement. The more Howard he read, the more possibilities it seemed to provide. Its eldritch myth and madness feeling like something larger and more horrifying that lies just out of reach. And how to make it work with Howard's colossal cast of characters. Well, here are the fruits of Zub's exhaustive efforts. Get ready to take a devious dive into 6 stunning stories swelling with simmering secrets of the supernatural. And I've just got to highlight this wicked pinup from Nick Marinkovich. It is so sweet. I grabbed a large-scale print from Nick at Fan Expo Canada. I'll share that in a future video, but it's just so awesome. Before we get to the first story, Savage Sword of Conan number 4 serves as an elaboration of the prelude that is the Free Comic Book Day 2024 issue. It fills in the blanks, gives us a touch more info on our cast of characters as they encounter the sign, the sigil, the symbol, or mark, its presence felt across space and time. And it's in this moment here that Jim Zub's Birthright in Black begins. And it's a nightmare, a journey of the surreal. And how about fearsome Fernando Dagnino's art? Geez Louise, it feels like classic Ernie Chan. It's a twisted tale overall, the nightmare breaking as at the end of Conan's story in the Free Comic Book Day issue. And Dagnino's pinup closes out the story. I'd be excited to see more of Dagnino's Conan. He just aced it here. After Conan, we get Blood from a Stone. It's Patch Zircher's story of Solomon Kane's first encounter with the sign. I always dig the detail that Patch gives to things like fashion and uniforms, firearms. And no surprises, the story also goes a little dark and twisted. Patch serves up a monster similar to something Guillermo del Toro might imagine. It's creepy as heck. I was pleased to see Jim Zub's second story, Brissa, Ever and Never Beyond, tell us of what happened to Brissa after she disappeared at the end of issue number 3. Devilish Dean Kotz's art combines with Zub's writing to give Brissa a voice and presence of her own. It's something a little different than what we've seen of her in the pages of Conan the Barbarian. Now, I'm excited for this next story. This is Jeffrey Shanks' comics debut, Conrad and Kirowan, Horror from the Tomb, illustrated by Eryk Donovan. Jeff shared with fans that he used an untitled fragment of Howard's writing as inspiration for the story. Check out the link to Lyon's overview of the fragment in the video description, or you can read it for yourself in the Horror Stories of Robert E. Howard, published by Del Rey. Jeff and I had touched upon it briefly in our chat a few months ago, too. Shanks' story of Conrad and Kirowan's investigation into the mark builds to a Howardian climax that simply rocks. As he said in our interview, when Howard's characters confront Lovecraftian horrors, they don't cower and go mad, they pick up a gun and fight back. Donovan brings it all wonderfully to life. Overall, this is an excellent debut from Jeff Shanks, and I hope we see more, maybe a bi-monthly Conrad and Kirowan adventure. Following Shanks' story, we come to fearless Fred Kennedy's Dark Agnes Matrimony. Fred's introduction to Agnes and her encounter with the sigil is one heck of a creepy-ass take. Andy Belanger's distinct style brings Kennedy's in-your-face horror and Agnes's sexiness to disconcerting life. The duo's collaboration creates a cognitive dissonance in the reader. The dark story, Agnes's stylized innocence and seductiveness, it's a curious standout in this superbly creative collection. And the final story features El Borak in Ron Marz's Black Oasis. I've really been digging El Borak lately, and Mike Perkins' depiction is El Borak, just so damn awesome. Marz gives a wonderful, succinct introduction to Robert E. Howard's Man of Action, and seriously, if there is one of REH's characters that deserve to be seen more, it's El Borak. How he doesn't have a standalone comic or film series is beyond me. Marz and Perkins have given us a template for what could be done with the character. The issue closes out with a 2-page illustration from Roberto De La Torre titled The Heroes of Man. This is followed by advertisements for Conan.com and James Lovegrove's forthcoming novel, Conan, Cult of the Obsidian Moon, releasing November 24th. Check out the video description for a pre-order link. And on the back cover, a tease for issue number 5 and an image from Alex Horley, featuring the first chapter of an epic King Conan 2-part comic from Eisner Award-winning writer Jason Aaron and classic artist Jeff Isherwood, a young Conan tale from Michael Kogi and artist Dan Parsons, colossal covers from Joe Jusko and Alex Horley, astonishing art pinups, and more. This issue is a stone throne, skimming the surface of strange and seemingly still waters, yet lurking beneath a surreal undertow of eldritch evil beckoning the heroes of man. The stone won't skim forever, and it must plunge into the dark deep as it once plunged from the heavens to earth. I think some fans are wary of the Black Stone event. Maybe it's stone fatigue. Maybe they're thinking it might be too reminiscent of Zub's Serpent War story. Well, I think fans are going to be pleased and naysayers surprised. I was curious going into this. I was always going to check out the Blackstone event, but this book defied my expectations. The trippy moments of the surreal, the evil of the stone permeating all pages and stories. It generates more questions, more mystery, even as the plot details are elaborated on. The talent that worked on this, the creativity on display, and the mystery of the Black Stone, it's all got me excited for the Battle of the Black Stone and its release next week. And while it's a great standalone magazine, man, does it ever work with what's to come next week. There are a couple of really amazing moments in Blackstone #1, and we'll talk about those next week. For now, I'd encourage you to pick this up and join the battle. As Jim Zub says, it's going to be a wild one. Thanks for watching, liking, consider subscribing, and until next time, take it easy, you Stygian Dogs.